Hi everybody. It's currently 4:30 in the morning. Couldn't sleep. Was thinking about you guys. So here I wanted to make a video about assignment 2 and help with how to go from your massing model family to a project. So how do I take this massing into a project? How do I bring my title block in? How do I make a view of it and submit it for assignment 2? So what you're looking at right here is a massing model that I just created using the different tools that we learned, mainly just extrusion, draw on face, some void forms, and a sweep. That's this wall down here. So this is looking like, say, some project. And it's like, all right, this is looking where I want it. I'm ready to move this into a project. I have 10 levels here. These relate in some way to those levels, but I haven't say maybe worked everything out, but that's fine. But I use those levels to help me build this. Okay, so how do we move this into a project? So I have saved this. I saved this as a family on my desktop here, but I'm going to move it into week 2 folder here, and I'll just call this Mass Family Video 2. Save it there. Okay, it's saved. So I'll bring it into the project first, then I'm going to come back here and change some of the materials and textures. Okay, so I'm going to start a project. I'm going to go File, New. I'm going to do a default template. Okay, so here's our new default template. I'm going to go ahead and save this project in the same folder. Week 2 fall. That's right, week 2, and I'll call this that's a RBT file. So I'll just call this a might be more version. Just say that. Okay. So I have two windows open, 3D file into my massing environment, and level 1 of my project. Okay, so let's bring it in. How do we do that? So what I'm going to do is go to my 3D file, and before I do anything, let's just get it in there. I'm going to click Load into Project. Now, when I do it that way, it takes me right here and it's like, hey, place your family. Okay, I'll put it right here. Okay, and hit escape. Okay, there it is. It's in the project. Now to prove it to you, I go to my 3D view. There it is. It's sort of like see-through and color, and it's kind of a little strange. Now, that's one way to do it. Now let me show you another way. I'm just going to undo this. Okay, I haven't brought it in. And do it again. I'm in my project, and I'm actually going to go to Insert, Load Family, Massing Family version 2. That was the one. I'm going to hit Open. Okay, I just did that, and it looks like there's nothing happening here. Okay, it's like, what the hell, Kev? Where's my model? So in order to place it, I have to go up to Massing and Site and click Place Mass right here. I'll click that. It's going to go to the different massing families that are in here. And it says Mass Family version 2. It's the only one in here. Go ahead and place it. Boom, hit escape, go to my 3D view, make a 3D view, and there it is. Okay, so I have this in the project now. Now, there's a couple things you're going to see that are different are I only have 2 levels in here, whereas in the massing file, I have 10. So one thing I might want to do in this project as I get going is put 10 levels in here at the same distance I do in my massing. So I can sort of repeat that step here. But in order to get this on the sheet and everything and get it printable, I want to change a couple things. First off, you'll see when we brought it in here, it's this sort of see-through transparent texture, which doesn't really help us very much. So let's change that first. So I'm going to go to my massing model. I'm going to select one of the shapes. And I'm going to go up to material. You can select any of them. I'll do this one too. So if I tab, I'm going to hit tab till I get the form. And I'm going to go up to material, by category, click in that box and click that weird little button on the right. Okay. Now I'm going to make a brand new material. I'm going to hit this little plus down here. Create new material. Okay. This one's called default new material. Now for every material or texture, same, when I say material or texture, I'm referring to the same thing. There are 3 tabs. Okay, so for default new material, I'm going to go to the first tab and just change the name. And I'm going to call this Maxine White. And I'm going to go to the 3rd tab for appearance. And under generic, I'm going to change its color all the way to white. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the middle tab, graphics, and I'm going to change the shading to use render appearance. That means it will just make it whatever I set in this render appearance. So basically, if we were going to render this in Revit, I change that information here. And when I'm just in normal shade view, not in some sort of like rendered view, I'm just telling the computer, yeah, use whatever you have for the render appearance. Do the same thing. So that's what I check that, and you can see it change the color to white. So that looks good. I'm going to hit OK. Now it looks like nothing happened. I'm going to click in space. You can see that that shape is white. Now what I'm going to do is just go through. I'm going to select all of these shapes using Tab and Control to select multiple things. And I'm going to go to Material, click on the little button, change it to Massing White, hit OK. Now everything's white, that looks good. I'm going to load it back into the project. I'm going to overwrite the existing. And now when I go to the 3D view here, you can see it's not see-through anymore. Okay. Now, I'm just about ready to get printing here because I'm just about there. So I'm going to do one other thing here, or a couple other things. I'm going to change my graphic display options. Let's do shaded, smooth line, you know, the routine here. Cast shadows. Wow, it's already looking good. I'm going to leave it right there. You might want to add silhouettes, turn white lines. Didn't change much. Now, if you want to add a different silhouette line, I'll just do it real quick. Edit new. Here are all my lines. I'm going to put a new one in here. I'll call this one wide 2. I'm going to change the weight to something ridiculous like 15. Let's see what that does. Okay. Let's go ahead and edit that because that's ridiculous. Wide 2. Kind of close. Let's do like 10. That's looking kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. All right, so that is looking like just about ready to print. Now, you might notice that like where this form crashes into that form, I don't see a line there. It's kind of just crashing together. Same with right here. We can change that in the family file by using the join command. So let's say I want to join this shape with this shape. So I'm going to go up to join, click join, grab this one, grab this one. There. Now I see the line. And I'm going to grab, say, this one and that one. I'm going to grab this one and that one. And I'm going to load it in the project again. And you can see now I see all those lines. Except here, let's do join that. Ooh, now I got that line there. And there we go. So that's looking pretty killer. Okay, so how do we make a sheet with your title block? Same way we did a sheet last semester. So I'm in the project right now. I'm done with my massive model, okay? I'm just gonna save this file and I'm gonna close it. Also gonna close this view, which I think is just my, yeah, it's just my project level one, but I'll just keep the 3D view open. Okay, so let's make a new sheet. So we're gonna go to View, Sheet, okay? Now, my title block's not in here, so I have to load that into this project, the title block you created for assignment one. So I'm gonna go Load, find my title block. This is a unfinished one, the one I used in the example. I'm gonna click Open. Get it selected there and hit OK. I got a new 11 by 17 sheet with my title block. I've got a 3D view of my awesome massing model. Now I'm just going to go to my 3D views. Just going to slide this over. If I zoom out, you'll see how huge this is. Okay, so I clicked, placed it. So it's way too big, right? So we need to shrink this down. So I'm going to go a couple ways to do it. I can click on the view here and just change the scale right here to something like that and hit apply. There it is, smaller, still a little big. I can go in here again, do 140, apply. Actually, that might work. Yeah, that works. And then I can sort of adjust my viewport. So I'm drawing title. So I'm going to grab that and just move it kind of maybe here. And then remember this trick, I got to click the view to move this end over. So that would work. And then I can give this a different name, like name it here, like 3D. And then after that, I would update any information here. Now, one thing I might want to do in my 3D view is hide these levels. So hide in view elements, and then they're not in here, so that looks way better. Okay, so that's, and then I can go ahead and print this to PDF and turn it in. So that is going from the massing model to the project, loading everything in, changing textures. So hopefully this will clear up any issues that you might be having. All right, guys, thanks.